States without pension or Social Security taxes. And man, number 5 is going to shock you. I'm telling you, I know that's clickbaity, but it's amazing. I've done an iteration of this with just Social Security taxes before, but I wanted to throw the 13 states that don't tax both because I think it's actually even more important too, especially if you have a pension. Now, a lot of us don't have pensions anymore. I get that, but some of us still do. In fact, not a small minority still has pensions. I think it's like 20 to 25% of the population. So this is a good video for you because if you have a pension and Social Security, there are a couple of states in here that are going to shock you that might be a place for you to live. I'm just telling you, we shall see. So welcome to Heritage Planning and Wealth, the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel, my friends, the place you come to learn all taxes, everything financial planning. So subscribe down below. And don't forget to hit the little bell up there, I think it's up there, to be notified for future content. So let's dive right into it. I just read this from U.S. News. I think it's from U.S. News. Yeah, U.S. News and World Report. And I used to get this as a hard copy a long time ago, probably 25, 30 years ago or something like that. And it's just funny how the magazine industry has just died. So everything is now online now. It's actually pretty interesting, which is good because you can put more info out there in the land of the interwebs as opposed to a magazine. Like here's my Popular Mechanics one, and you only got so much space you can put in there. But I do say I still like having a magazine where you can. Here's a portable table saw, for instance. I like the idea of having a magazine in my hands, but I tell you, they do end up piling up, and very few get read. It's too bad. All right, anyway. So let's talk about the 13 states. Reduce your tax for retirement tax bills. Retirees can help their savings last longer by moving to a place with lower taxes. Whoa, that's crazy. Who knew? These 13 states don't tax Social Security or pension income. However, they have very different property and sales tax rates. Yep, property and sales tax rates are different, but in terms of income tax rate, that is something you can control. So it's good to be advised. Which should also be taken into consideration, according to the data from Walters Kluwer Tax and Accounting. And I'm a big fan of Walters and Kluwer. I follow a lot of that stuff that they do, actually. I don't have access to their premium website, and I'm sure they have one. CCH also is one. I can't remember, but there's a bunch of different tax firms, AICPA. I think it's CCH, Walters Kluwer. So anytime there's an article from these guys, I'm always on it like white on rice. All right, so let's jump right up. We're going to talk about Alabama first. And we got these little slideshows. State of Alabama doesn't tax Social Security benefits or traditional pension payments. Property owners in Alabama pay just a median of $556 in real estate taxes. The state sales tax is also relatively low. I'm not, that's fine. At the end of the day, I'm just mostly interested right now in Social Security or pension. So Alabama doesn't tax Social Security or traditional pension payments. Now, I did a video on all this on my 50 state-by-state guide to taxes and retirement for property sales and income tax. And right now, I'm just going to focus on the income tax side of it. So Alabama, if you have a pension and Social Security, you're tax-free. All right. Obviously, Alaska is going to be next, as you can see. Alaska. There we go. Got to scroll up, I guess. Yep, there we go. Alaska is the only state with no state income tax and no state sales tax. We talk about property, but they don't have a state income tax. So if you don't have a state income tax, inherently, you don't have a tax on pension or your Social Security. So let's keep going down. Florida, the same thing. I'm telling you. So Florida has doesn't have an income tax either. So, if you don't have an income tax, so Tennessee, New Hampshire, those are going to be part of this. But there's a couple of surprises right here. Illinois. The state of Illinois allows retiree residents to subtract their Social Security income from their AGI, just gross income. Income from federally qualified pension plans and IRAs is also generally exempt from state tax. So let me just tell you, I was working with a wonderful couple in Illinois just last week. Big bucks they're going to have coming from pensions, IRA distributions, and Social Security. Not big taxes. In fact, we're running the numbers, and the taxes are going to be minimal at best, simply because Illinois is a heavy union state, and the unions, government employees unions, love them or hate them, but the facts are they lobbied hard to get tax benefits, retired benefits free. Now, you might not like that. Frankly, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. And so if you're a retiree in Illinois, with pension and or Social Security, you're not paying any income tax, which is crazy in a good way. It's crazy when you think about it. This is Illinois we're talking about. Illinois. We're not talking about Tennessee. And yet these guys are going to live large. And so we're doing lots of Roth conversions to take advantage of the tax code, because you never know what the tax law changes. I mean, at some point, Illinois is going to have to pay the piper for their sick pension. Their pension system is just messed up. There's no other way around that. At some point, they're going to have to pay it. So I'm telling these guys, and I'll tell you, if you're a resident of Illinois, you better start moving money over to the Roth, because you will not pay state and Illinois taxes on those conversions. And you won't pay on a pension, and you won't pay on your Social Security either. So if you start switching that sucker over as much as you possibly can, that's a good place, because at some point that tax law might change. All right. So Illinois, that's number 5. That's the one that's always shocks people for sure. Then we got our little advertisement here, and let's keep going. The power of online experiments. Mississippi is another favorable one. Pension and annuity payments and income from KEO plans and IRAs are exempt from state tax, as well as Social Security. So again, we got pension, annuity payments, and IRAs, KEO plans, and Social Security in Mississippi. And obviously, it's a low cost of living state too. But man, the humidity will get you down there for sure. But it's a beautiful state. That's where Walter Payton, Jackson State University, the best running back of all time, other than Jim Brown, in my opinion. Some will say Eric Dickerson. I don't think so. I think Walter Payton. Some might say, what's his name? Emmitt Smith? Nah, Walter Payton. Don't forget, Walter Payton didn't have any all-pro linemen for the first decade of his career. And the Bears are horrible. And he was still getting 1,800 yards a year. And that was when I think they only started with 14 games too. I think they went to 16 and 77. And Payton's first 2 years was just 14 games. And he still got like 1,500 yards with no linemen to speak of. Nevada, again, that doesn't shock you. They don't have a state income tax, so that's a no-brainer there. Let's keep going. New Hampshire, no state income tax. Now they do tax dividends and interest, but no state income tax in New Hampshire. They won't charge your pension or their Social Security, because there is no state income tax. Let's keep rolling here. Now, PA is a big one. Social Security benefits are not included in taxable income in the state of Pennsylvania. Distributions from 401k and similar type workplace retirement accounts and IRA draws are also generally exempt from state income tax as well. So again, Social Security benefits not taxed, and basically distributions from other retirement accounts are not taxed as well. So PA is another shocker, right? Pennsylvania, again, a high union state, so they're going after protecting the pensions that the union members get. And again, that's what unions are supposed to do. They're supposed to protect their members. That's fine. And so PA doesn't tax Social Security, and they don't tax basically all your other distributions as well from retirement accounts. So that's a good place to be. Let's keep going. South Dakota, no state that doesn't have income tax. No income tax, no tax. It's just literally that simple. We're going to get to Tennessee here next. Let's see where we are. Tennessee, dividends and interest are the only thing that tax. So they're not taxing pensions. They're not taxing Social Security, because there's no income tax in Tennessee. All right, so we know that. Texas, no state income tax. They're not going to tax your dividend, or they're not going to tax your pensions or Social Security, because there's no income tax. Washington State, no income tax, so they're not going to tax your pensions or Social Security, because there's no income tax either. And we're not talking about property taxes again, or sales taxes. I've already done that. And again, Wyoming doesn't have an income tax either. So at the end of the day, the two big ones here are Illinois and Pennsylvania when it comes to not having where they do have state sales or state income tax, but they don't tax pensions and they don't tax Social Security. So that's pretty interesting, huh? I'm a big fan. I don't know who Emily Brandon is, who wrote this article about a year and a half ago, but PA and Illinois, right up there, no taxes on Social Security and or pensions. Alabama, the same thing, even though they do have an income tax. Mississippi, same thing, even though they do have an income tax. I should say 4. So Alabama, Mississippi, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. So there you have it. If you're living in one of those 4 states, you don't need to relocate to Texas or Tennessee or New Hampshire, because you're already in a tax-free state for your pension, maybe your IRA, and certainly your Social Security as well. Hope you find this helpful, my friends. As always, comment down below, subscribe, thumbs up always help. Go to the blog at heritagewealthplanning.com. Got the podcast out there. I'll show you that we're going to do lots of calculators on there as well. So if you like what you see, just go there and then subscribe here to the YouTube channel. See you next time. Thanks, guys.